Good afternoon. All right, can you hear me? Yeah. All right. I need us to do something real loud. I need them to hear that Pizza Hut right over there, all right? So I need y'all to repeat after me real loud. Dream big.
Dream big.
We almost there. Dream big.
Dream big.
One more time. Dream big.
Dream big.
Act big.
Dream big.
Act big.
Act big.
All right, clap it up. All right. So listen, here's what I want to talk about today. Born in Memphis, I'm 33 now. I need to talk about proving them wrong. Proving them wrong. Say it with me, prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Now listen, I know this is an education center, so you know the technical English is to say prove them wrong, but I need you to cut the T and the H off, all right? I need you to cut the T and the H off of them and say M. Prove them wrong, all right? Okay, prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
There we go, prove them wrong. That's how you slice it up together. All right, now listen, the reason why I say prove them wrong, are they right about you? Have you ever thought about what they saying about you? Now the they or the they has to be contextual. It has to be contextual. Because when my mother was pregnant with me, someone touched my mother's stomach and said the boy going to jail. Another person touched my mother's stomach and said the boy's going to be a preacher. You got two choices. Are they right about you? What are they saying about you? Who is the they? Who is the they? Who is the they? Justin Jackson said, you can send me to Penn State or the state pen. 1 in 3. African Americans will end up in the prison system at some point. The goal is, are you going to fall in that or are you going to prove them wrong? Because you don't have to go. Are you going to prove them wrong? Are you going to prove them right and say, yep, we expect you to go, so you're going? Are you going to get the degree or are you going to sell drugs? Which one? It's your choice. Because you're looking at a man, 33 years old. The first time I met my father was 7 years ago, 26 years old. Never got a Christmas present. Never got a Thanksgiving dinner. Never got a chance to play basketball with my man. Never got a chance to play football, to play whatever, or to talk about fatherly things, what you're supposed to do. And the first time I met him, he asked me for money to get drunk.
Nice.
Second time I met him, he was in the hospital. Tubes coming out of his nose. Couldn't breathe. And they asked me to pray for him. The son, who never got a phone call, who never got a birthday dinner, who never got a birthday call, they asked me to pray for him. Can you imagine how I felt? Third time I saw him, you can imagine where he was. He was deceased. Every image I have of my father represents something negative. So do I take that and say, well, my father wasn't there for me, so I'm not going to be there for my kids? Or do I take that and say, I'm going to let it drive me, and I'm going to take care of every single child I have because they will not experience what I experienced. I will not leave them abandoned and hanging like mine's left me. So you got a choice to see the glass half empty or half full, but there is no excuse. It's your choice. There is no excuse. I saw my sister at the age of 5, her boyfriend kicked the door in, strangled her half to death, beat her half to death, killed her, almost took her life. I'm 5 years old. I didn't wake up and say, well, God, let me see my sister get beat half to death today. I didn't ask to see that, so how you gonna process that? So do I take that and say, well, it's okay to beat women? Or do I take that and say, I will not do it no matter what? The choice is mine. I didn't ask to see it, but I got to deal with it. I can't get rid of the image. How do I get past seeing my mama deal with the shame of being on government assistance, food stamps, the way they talk to women down there, the way they treat women down there? How do I get past the shame of that? of always hearing we can't afford it, always hearing we can't do it because we don't have the money. So do I accept life and say, well, I'll never be able to have anything because I grew up without money? Or do I accept life and say, well, one day I'm going to build my dreams the way I want to build it, the way I choose to build it. I'm going to leave my life and live my life the way I feel like God is calling me to live, and I'm going to create something out of nothing. Your choice. Your choice. But you got to remember, no excuses, and you got to prove them wrong. So, are you prone to violence? Are you uneducated? Are you nasty, filthy? You got to prove them wrong. Next one. Now, when I say them, it's contextual. A lot of people told me I wasn't going to be nothing. But the truth tells me a different story. Next slide. What's the truth of the matter? Truth of the matter is, Frederick Douglass said, you saw how a slave or a man became a slave, you're going to see how a slave become a man. The difference is he educated himself, literally educated himself, taught himself how to read, taught himself his own ABCs. He did this. Nothing can stop you when you put a desire in your heart so strong and you're willing to risk your life on it. My man said he quit his job to get his education. So I sacrifice $10 now to get $100 then. See, a lot of us got $1 million grind and a $10 work ethic. You want the $1 million, but you're playing video games all day. You want the $1 million, but we're on Snapchatting it up all day. We're on Facebook all day. We're on the Twitter all day. We're doing whatever it takes, snapping it up, all this kind of stuff. We dabbing all day. What you got in your mind that's going to make you and leave a legacy? One day you're going to have kids. One day you're going to have a wife. One day you're going to have a husband. What you going to leave behind for them? A bunch of selfies? Or are you going to leave a legacy? I became the first male in my family to graduate in 2013. I'm taking my master's now. Became the first male in my family to start a business. I've never seen a model in my family start a business. So how can you do it out of nothing? You got to dream big. You got to think big. You got to act big. You got to go out into the world and say, I'm going to create it whether I see it or not. I love that commercial about a football player he got now, or that's out now. He makes a road in the desert. He builds a shower in the desert and says, I'm going to make my own path. A lot of you all, you dealing with stuff, you dealing with relationships. Father walked out of your life, mother walked out of your life. Some family members may have died along the way and you're blaming yourself for it. I counsel 2 8th grade girls right now. Their brother just got shot down in June. They're blaming themselves for it. So how you going to take that? You can't control life or death. You can't control what happens to you. You can control what happens in you and through you. So you got to take the situation and make it better. You got to make it better. You got to say, no matter what, I will make it happen. I don't care who picks up a gun in my community. I'm not picking it up. I don't care who makes a way to sell, or I don't care who makes their living by selling drugs. I'm not doing it. Mine may take a little longer. It may take me a little longer to get my $1 million home, but at least I'll be able to sleep comfortably in it. It may take me a little longer to get my Benz or my Cadillac, but at least I'll be able to drive it in my name, not in my girlfriend's name, because I got 50 million records. What you gonna do with your life? The education is the key. The education is the key. Benjamin Ballard, a mathematician, taught himself how to read at a moment in which blacks couldn't do it. Defied the odds. Next one. May C. Jemison, first African-American woman to fly in space in 1992. My man right there. Yes. The man who created the Super Soaker was black. Did you know that? Worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's a scientist, PhD. My man at the top there played in The NBA, he made $400,000 back in the 1960s. He took $400,000 in the summer during the offseason in the NBA. He went and worked at Wendy's. One of the fans who recognized him in the NBA, she said, "What a shame, an NBA player working at Wendy's now." She had no clue he was working at Wendy's because he had invested in them. Now he's worth $400 million. He took $400,000, made $400 million. What you gonna do with your life? No excuses. Madam C.J. Walker, the first woman, I didn't say black woman, I didn't say white, the first woman ever to become a self-made millionaire, took an idea, invested in herself, and made millions of dollars off of it. No excuses. Prove them wrong. Let's go. What about me? I just told you I was born in South Memphis. Did you know anything about it? It's very poverty-stricken. Single parent home, high school dropout. I played so much, he can attest to this. I played and acted a fool so much, I found myself 19 in high school. Sitting with a bunch of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. I didn't take my life serious. I had no direction. I had no purpose. I had no goals. I had no dreams. I actually thought I was going to be the next Michael Jordan. I was working on my fadeaway. My man laughed a little too hard right now. You know?
Pipe it down.
I know, right? Don't kill my dreams like that. I really thought I was going to be the next Jordan. I was like, it didn't go in, but that's my dream. But once I figured it out, I said, okay, I'm not going to be the next Michael Jordan. I'm not growing any taller. Okay, I've been this height since about 9th grade. I'm not growing any taller. What am I going to do? I had no dream, so I ended up 19 in the 12th grade, 19 years old. So I dropped out, and I went to Mexico Dosa, and I took the pre-test to get in. The man called me in the office. He said, "Look, sir, I've been here for 20 years. He said, "Man, you've made the highest scores on this pre-test I've ever seen." That was my first light bulb that went off, that I'm not some stupid, dumb guy that I tried to portray because I thought it was cool to look dumb. I thought it was cool to look stupid. I had never read a book in my life at that point, but I was intellectual. So who you gonna be? Are you gonna be what the people expecting you to be? Or are you gonna be who you are no matter what the people expect? It's up to you. Somebody in your community expecting you to sell some drugs. Somebody expecting you, whether they tell you or not. Somebody waiting on you to fail. They waiting on you to end up in jail so they can call your mom and say, "I told you it wasn't gonna be nothing." They better not ever make a call about you again. Don't let them be right about you. Whoever the day is to you. All right, next one. I witnessed my brother go to jail in the 6th grade. Why? Because he hooked up with the wrong person. He had no dreams. He had no goals. And he hooked up with the wrong person, and they said, "Man, let's go rob somebody." Okay, let's go. See, when you don't have dreams, when you don't have goals, when you don't take your education seriously, you leave yourself open subject to make any choice there is. But when you have goals, dreams, you have goals. When you have goals, you have direction. When you have direction, you have a value system that says, I'm going somewhere, so I can't do this. I won't do this. No matter how it looks right now, I got somewhere to go in my life, so I'll see you at the other end of success, baby. Holla at you. I'll see you at the other end of success. I'm almost through. This is me in high school, acting a plum fool, playing around. They used to have cross-dressing day back then, when you know, when the boys dress like girls, girls dress like boys. I went to school for that kind of, fool. It was fine, but I took that more serious than I took my education. I took that more serious than I took myself. All right, let's go. We almost finished. I got about you. But the truth about me is I was a winner. Always have been a winner. Always have been someone who was competitive. And so now you got to transfer that. I'm competitive in proving that you're wrong about me. First man to graduate, master's degree, business owner, a father taking care of my kids, motivational speaker. Let's go, last one. So what are you going to do? Say it with me, prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Say it with me, prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Say it with me, prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong. They better not be right about you. They better not be right about you. they better not be right about you. All right, one more time. Dream big. Dream big. Think big. Think big. Act big. Act big. What else better you got to do? Thank you for having me. That's my time.